What does an X pipe, a decibel reader, and a 2014 Aston Martin Vanquish have in common? Well, check this out. So I'm going to do a couple things in this video. I'm going to test the decibel level of the exhaust on this 2014 Aston Martin Vanquish at start, at idle, and giving it some revs. Then I'm going to show how to install this X pipe by removing the two rear, really unnecessary, catalytic converters, the second set of catalytic converters. Then I'm gonna hook this up. We're also gonna do a cold start, testing the decibel level increase, as well as the idle, and giving it some revs to see what the sound change will be, swap it out and putting this thing in. So hopefully get some value out of this video. Like and subscribe for more stuff like this. Let's get started. All right, there's two tailpipes, but we're just gonna put this near one of the tailpipes. And what we have here is a decibel reader, pretty simple to use. You turn it on, you can see there's the decibel, just the ambient noise and my voice. So let's put the crystal key in the vehicle, crank this thing up, see what it does. Nice. All right, now that we got a baseline, that's the before. Now let's figure out how to put on this X pipe, and then we'll do a decibel test afterward. All right, now we're under here, and the first thing we're gonna do is identify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, 9 bolts. Get to where we need to get to. All right, we're gonna use a 10mm socket wrench. We're gonna take these bolts off. One thing to note is that this second bolt here, going this way, is shorter than the first one up there. So we have two of these T30s to get these two off right here. And once all the bolts are gone, it just comes right out. And this, my friends, is what's preventing the Aston Martin from sounding as good as it should. These are two inline secondary catalytic converters. Primaries are kind of right up there, right after that comes out of the block. So we have 4 screws here, 4 screws there, and then we have these 2 clamps here that, again, the vehicle's only got 11,500 miles, and it's been kept indoors, so these are in pretty good condition. A little bit, might put a little bit of penetrating fluid on these. All right, so to loosen up these bolts that are basically like compression clamps on the exit side, you're gonna use a number 13, another 13 socket. I guess you could use, something else, but it's just the easiest way to do it that I see. Now, when taking off this fitting, it's easier just to remove the complete bolt. Just take the whole bolt out. It looks like this. Take the whole bolt out. Then you can, with your fingers, kind of pull it apart. It easily slides down over this section. So you can see that's where the gap is. It's where it's just like, it sits in there, and then this compression holds it in there and seals it. Now we're gonna do the other one. All right, so now with both of these slid down here, and these are loose, this is where they go. You can see there's a little bit of give, just a little bit. And so now we're gonna take off these 3 bolts on both of these catalytic converters and get these things out of here. And these 3 bolts are the exact same as these, which is uses a number 13 socket wrench. All right, now when taking these off, you have to have a wrench on both sides. So probably the best way to do it is you take off these bottom 2, and then what you have to do is you have to, without taking anything else off, which is the goal, is try to be as simple as possible, taking off 2 more of these. There's 1 and 2. These just kind of screw out. It's these. So a total of 3 on this side. 1, 2, 3. That gives you a little bit more flex. So then you get your arm in there and you can get a wrench on the back side of that. You just kind of like hold it up against, and then it's easier if you have a little bit of an extension. So you can get in there. Once you loosen it, this whole thing will slide out of the way to give you a little bit more access. And then all you got to do is loosen up that bolt, and then this thing can come down. So we've already taken the nut off. We're going to reach back in here. We're going to put some weight on this. I'm going to take this off the back side. So this is what I just had. It was just holding it there in place. And then with some weight to hold this, we're going to pull the pin through. There's the pin or the bolt. And then there you go. So this literally just kind of slides out. Well, slides out, and then you're good to go. So this is one of two. And kind of hard to see in there, but the honeycomb is in there. It's all intact. It's actually in perfect condition. There's only 11,000 miles on this car, but this is taking the sound, the glorious sound and some horsepower out of this bad boy. Let's get on to the second one. Exact same process. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3 bolts off. You can see it's loose. Same thing. You're gonna push that bolt through. It's not that heavy, so it's easy to kind of take off. And then there you go. Now to put on the glorious X-Pipe. All right, so we just did a test fit, put it in place, kind of keep everything loose. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws here. This kit also comes with 2 new gaskets for this side. I haven't put them in yet because I just want to kind of get a fit for this thing and keep everything nice and loose. So once you kind of get a fit, you realize, oh, okay, everything's kind of where it needs to be. Again, leave these loose. And then I guess I could have put the gaskets on, but just put 1 bolt here, just to kind of get a feel for things. Let's put all this together. All right, so I don't know if you're supposed to do it this way, but I'm like tightening this one. Kind of got all 3 hand tightened. Come over here to that other one. All 3 are hand tightened. And then I'm slowly tightening each one, almost like a car tire when you're doing lug nuts. A little bit here, just so it all balances out as this kind of settles into place. Like it's already in there, like really good. And you might need to, like with this, you might have to use 2 wrenches versus a socket wrench because you're not going to have as much space here. Just a little best practice. And we're going to tighten up the rest of these. Then we're going to get our fit and finish on this end, kind of pull these down a little bit, get them in place, put these clamps on here, get them nice and tight, and then come back and tighten all 4 of these, and then everything should be solid. All right, so now that the front 6 bolts, 3 on each side, are solid, I mean, this is in there. I was a little worried at first. I was like, man, is this thing like gonna fit? And then once you slowly tighten everything down, it kind of gets into place. Perfect. And it's like, it ain't moving, which is nice because you don't want to have any rattling because something's all messed up. So then you have these, and you keep them loose, keep them super loose, and then you kind of slide them this way into this pipe right here. Slide this one this way as well. Then once you have all these in place, we're going to bring down these clamps and seal this, and then we're going to put the rest of these the cover bolts back on and give this bad boy a test. All right, so now we got these tightened down. These are the compression clamps here. These are still loose. That is like really important because you want to be able to give yourself some room to really kind of fine tune this and have a perfect flow. I mean, it is like butter. Very impressed. I was a little worried. Never doing this before, but super straightforward. This is awesome. And so now what we're gonna do is now that everything is like, this is solid, now we're just gonna tighten these and these. Key thing here with these is making sure these are not all the way down here like this. You want them up into the body of the vehicle because just in case you roll over something and you're not paying attention, you don't want anything in the undercarriage to just clip one of these and rip it loose, and then it's going to mess up the exhaust. You want to tuck everything up as tight as possible up in here. Very, very, very important for anything, you know. These bolts right here that come with the X pipe require a number 17 socket on this end here. All right, now that we have this, which is super solid, it's in there. Now we're gonna put back the shield bolts. You got a couple on this side, and then we're gonna put the final cover plate, the little skid plate, and then this thing will be done. All right, we're gonna put the shield back up. Be careful when you take this down because there's these little rubber pieces on the ends here, and they come off. I believe this is probably to prevent rattling of this, I assume, but make sure those are on before you. And that, my friends, is how you do it. Back to original, you can see here these cutouts that are made for the actual catalytic converters are just gonna have more ventilation. There is nothing touching as far as this heat shield, which is what you want. You don't want any kind of vibration, and everything is nice. You got enough gap all the way around. It's almost like they knew what they were doing. So very, very cool. Shout out to AMS Edition, Gary specifically, who right out in Germany shipped these out here to the US of A. And I said, I hadn't seen a tutorial on how to do this. And so try to provide value for those folks that are out there. And so here's the original. There is a different, I'm not weighing it out, but there's definitely a weight difference. I'd say the X pipe weighs probably as much as one of these, maybe. The old gaskets, this will be stored in case eventually the car is sold, the new owner wants to convert it back to this, totally fine. Now is the sound test. Oh man. All right, now that the sun is up and the neighbors are not home, I'm gonna crank this bad boy up. What I'm gonna do here with the decibel reader is I'm gonna set it to where it stops, it maxes out. And when it hits that top, it will hold that. The previous test without the X pipe peaked out at 107 decibels, maybe like 107 some change, but 107 decibels. Let's see with the X pipe, cold start, idle, and then giving it some revs to see if there is a measurable improvement or loudness increase in the decibels. What? Yes. All right. All right. So we cracked another couple decibels, 109. So definitely louder. And one thing that is very obvious is the crackling. So like the pops on the first round with the X pipe not on, didn't get that popping crackling sound, which is just awesome. That's all I gotta say about that. So in summary, that is how you install the X pipe. And from a comparison, this is a Maserati Gran Turismo MC 2017 that has the Ferrari spec motor in it. That also has an X pipe, and this, I think this has a higher pitch. I don't know, it's just a little bit different. Definitely different. Now follow and subscribe because I'm gonna be doing a comparison video of these side by side, also getting a decibel test, and X pipe, V12, V8, Ferrari engine, Aston Martin. Oh man. Next video is gonna be a sound comparison, decibel level comparison. Which one will sound better? See you in the next video.